Honourable Member for St. James North.
Okay. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to intervene in this debate and give my full and absolute support to what this Parliament is doing here in creating a new national honour, the Order of Freedom of Barbados. I give absolute credit to the Honourable Prime Minister, the member for St. Michael North East, who has led and brought this to the Cabinet and to the Parliament of Barbados. This honour, as we have heard, will now be the highest honour conferred by Barbados, below national heroes, of course, of which we have 10 sitting at the pinnacle of excellence of this country. It can be given to someone born in Barbados, a Barbadian citizen, someone who is entitled to be registered as a citizen of Barbados. And that too, sir, is important, because it means, therefore, that someone who is born in the diaspora, another CARICOM country, but of Barbadian parentage, Barbadian descent, sir, and with the will of the Cabinet, as the Honourable Prime Minister has already indicated in I believe, on overseas trips, that aspect of who can be entitled to be registered as a citizen of Barbados may very well be before this Parliament soon. This widens the aspect and the ability of the government of Barbados to confer national honours, as the Honourable Member for St. James Central has said, is one of the hallmarks of nationalism and governance. Someone who has distinguished themselves by extraordinary service to Barbados, the Caribbean diaspora, to humanity at large, is eligible to be conferred with this honour. And, you know, so a country has to have the right to reward people for their good works, not only those who live in Barbados, the country, but those who have made a contribution from outside the physical borders of the country, those who have made a contribution to humanity as a whole. The issue, sir, of conferment of an honorary order, honorary conferment of the order, is also important, sir, as that can be made to someone who is not a citizen of Barbados, but who has distinguished themselves by extraordinary service to Barbados, the Caribbean, the diaspora, or humanity at large, or to a head of state or government. This again increases the stature of a government. So it's not surprising that the Honourable Prime Minister has had the vision to do this. He would have been the Minister of Culture at the time when Barbados, this Parliament, sir, and I remember that debate very well, in 1998, created the Honour of National Hero. And it would have been a committee headed by now Sir Hilary Beckhouse that would have made recommendations for that honour, and which I think they might have recommended 7. The then government, former Barbados Labour Party administration, would have appointed 10 to be all very worthy, one still living, as we know, to be national heroes. And this freedom of Order of Freedom will, of course, now stand just below that in the table of precedence as the highest national honour. Sir, I must say, sir, as everyone who knows me well knows, that I'm an unrepentant Republican, sir. I have no apologies for saying that. I felt, sir, that maybe the only, sir, error that the last Barbados Labour Party administration made, and, sir, a party, in my opinion, of course, after 14 years governance, is entitled to one error. was not to take Barbados into republic status after the 1999 election with a 26-2 mandate. We had a republic song. The economy was great. It's not like now, sir, where, as the Honourable Prime Minister has said, our first task has to be to bring back the economy, which was in the absolute gutter just 14 months ago, sir, and that has to be the priority, sir. The economy and the physical safety and security of your people, law and order. And therefore, I'm in agreement that the time is now that we can move towards republic status at this stage. We have other priorities, sir. I've over the years grown a very practical person, sir. I was not always that way, but I'm practical and I understand that 20 years ago we could have done it. We had a tremendous economy after the first 5 years of the last Barbados Labour Party administration, sir. The best 5 years of any governance in this country, and 5 years, sir, which we have now as a standard to try to surpass, sir. And we could have moved towards it then. But the opportunity was lost, sir. I understand why the opportunity was lost, sir. The Honourable Member for St. James Central hinted at it, sir, that you have still certainly then a core group of monarchists and conservatives in this country, and there probably wasn't the political will to go against them at that time, sir. But I look forward to being part of a parliament, sir, led by the Honourable Prime Minister, where that debate on republic status of Barbados comes, and that we move towards that status, sir, after now over 50 years of independence. It is a process, sir. It is a process towards nationalism, sir, and this is not one on which we will be hypocritical, sir, because this is a party that would have taken Barbados, removed Barbados from the Privy Council, sir, into a regional court, as we were in previously, sir, when we were part of the Federation, led at the time by one of the greatest political leaders of the Caribbean, national hero, the Right Excellent Sir Grantley Herbert Adams, sir, and we were part of a federal judicial system that worked extremely well. I had no problems whatsoever and was extremely supportive of us moving into the Caribbean Court of Justice. We are the party, sir, that in 2015 brought a covenant of hope which spoke about nationalism, about national consciousness, among everything else, because, sir, that is part of the being of an individual, of a citizen. It's not only about economic development, about good health care, great education, law and security, sir, but national consciousness, pride in yourself, dignity, respect for others of your color, of your social status, of your citizenship, sir, has to be part of the development of a people, of a country, especially of a newly independent country, sir. And then, as the Honourable Member for St. James Central said, sir, we had the manifesto last year which spoke about national consciousness, sir. All of this brings us to where we are here today in this debate, sir. I too understand our history, our legacy as part of the British Empire for centuries, sir, being known as Little England at one time, but we have to move away from that, sir. We have to be the example as we strive again, and as we will make this country the leading small island in the world, the leading developing country in the world, sir, moving towards developed status as we were aiming to do the last time this political party was in government. But England, with all respect, state, sir, at one time, yes, ruled the world, but now in turmoil, sir, Brexit, etc., United States, in the heat, like if it had gone back on certain issues, race relations, how to treat the people of all races, of all sexes, of all preferences, sir, we can be the example to them on how we should move forward. And therefore, sir, while I too respect all those who have been awarded knighthoods conferred by Her Majesty, sir, I am one of those who feel that and who look forward to the time when we start accepting honours from the British government. The British Empire, sir, collapsed in 1945. In 1947, India became the first country after that period of colonialism to become independent from Great Britain. And after that, of course, we had a heap of African countries becoming independent in the 50s, Ghana, Nigeria, others, but we still find ourselves, 75 years after the collapse of the British Empire, some of our citizens very worthy of national honor, sir, but accepting command of the British Empire, member of the British Empire, order of the British Empire, sir. We have our own national honor, sir. I was happy that on the turn of this century, we created and honored the centennial honor and awarded 100 people centennial honors on the 1st of January 2000, sir. That is the mark of nationhood. That is the mark of a country that has found its place in the world. That is a mark of a country that throughout its history has had people with pride, with dignity, people who are hard-working, sir. And we have to set examples for our youth, our young people to aim for. They now have the Order of Freedom to aim for as the highest national honor, sir. And this ties in with what it is to be a barbarian, because what it is to be a barbarian has to be, too, an educational system which, as I said, gives people self-worth, self-esteem, national consciousness, and has to inculcate in all barbarians the fact that we are inferior to none in this world, sir, to none whatsoever. As I said, sir, this is not an issue as one which we have been fighting on the last 14 months, trying and succeeding, sir, in, as typified by our progressive economic indicators, our improvement of economy, sir, after 22 or 23 successive downgrades. So we're fighting on that front, we succeed in. Law and order, we succeed in, sir. But this is not that, but it is as equally important in terms of conferring on our people, and not only our people, but people on the diaspora, people from the barbarian diaspora, people entitled, even though they may not be a citizen of Barbados, that recognition which they truly deserve. An appointment not at the whim and caprice of Her Majesty the Queen, but on the advice of the Prime Minister and on the appointment of the Governor General, sir. We also have, of course, orders of CARICOM where the CARICOM Secretariat can confer and has conferred orders on CARICOM citizens. Barbadians have received that honor. So we also have orders within the regional system to give to those who are highly worthy. Sir, this is an outstanding day. I give credit to the Honourable Prime Minister for leading for this vision and for bringing this debate, and absolutely associate myself with this bill before Parliament. Sir.